Alright, welcome back, Hunt fans. Back with some Monster Hunter Wilds, and today I figure we do a full breakdown on the GOGMA ARTIan system so that you get an understanding of what you're doing, what to look for, things in that nature. Best rolls, best eyes, what you can roll, and what you will need in order to get the best possible outcome for your weapons. So we'll just go ahead and talk to Gemma real quick and go to the Artian upgrade system. So basically, old Artian system, you just pick from two different categories, attack or affinity. Most people go with attack for better DPS output. So usually when you do that, you'll load them up and you'll get 5% affinity. So let's say we do that. So we're going on with our Artian, our new Artian weapon, and obviously we're going to load it up with some Oracle Sight to max. Get that going, and we'll get the reinforcement bonuses. Reinforcement bonuses are kind of trash, but with the new GOGMA ARTIan system, we don't have to worry about that too much, because there is an amend system where even if we get bad reinforcement bonuses, we can re-roll these reinforcement bonuses to what we want. So even if you forge an Artian weapon and you get bad reinforcement bonuses, don't worry about that, because it'll be cheaper just to amend the reinforcement bonuses rather than make a brand new Artian weapon and spend 50 Oracle Sight trying to get the reinforcement bonus you want, rather than 20 Oracle Sight per reroll to get the reinforcement bonuses you want. So when you're ready to go to GOGMA ARTIan, you'll basically use the TAR devices you get from GOG. I have none because I was trying to roll the right skills I wanted on my weapons, but basically you get the idea. So generally, you will get to go attack, affinity, or element focus for your new GOGMA ARTIan weapon. So if you go attack, you're going to lose about 15% affinity. For most weapons, that's pretty bad, because you want to, and along with your high attack, you want to have high affinity so that you crit often so you get more damage. So losing 15% affinity is kind of major. But then if you go affinity, you lose, what's that, about 28, I want to say. You lose about 28 attack going affinity, but you get 25% affinity from the jump. So I mean, you'll get an extra 10% affinity. Actually, just looking at this example, it just goes up 10%. So you'll drop a lot of attack to get 10% more affinity. So you really don't need to go affinity, honestly, because so many ways to accumulate affinity in the game. So losing 28 attack, or not 28, I'm sorry, looking at the model, losing about 14 attack for 10% affinity. That's like an attack 5, pretty much. That's roughly an attack 5, dropping that much attack for 10% affinity. 10% affinity is great, but dropping 14 attack for it, it's a little rough. And then going to element. Element's probably the most balanced because you don't lose any attack and you lose about 5% affinity and you get a nice bolster to your attack. So element's probably the fairest, but usually attack focus is where you want to go because that base damage is pretty important. So let's say you go attack. So you go attack and you'll get to this menu and you'll want to reinforce it.
Let's crack a few ancient mysteries.
You'll want to reinforce it. So you got GOGMA Reinforce, which is what you want to use for your reinforcement bonuses, and reset skills. That's going to be what you use tar devices to get your active skills. So GOGMA Reinforce, you just go here because I did see somebody got lost in this menu about how to do the skills, and it was just a tab over. So reset skills for your active skills, your sets bonus skills, and your group skills. So just keep that in mind. But GOGMA Reinforce, you want to do that, and basically if you look at the rolls, this is the best roll that I have for the weapon that I wanted. So you can only have you can have full EXs, but you can't have more than 2 EXs of the same category. So if you got 3 attack, you can only have 2 EXs of that particular bonus. As you can see, you got 2 attack, and then the other attack is level 3. So we're maxed at 2 attacks. We're maxed at 2 EXs per category. So the other 2 categories were able to go EX because I got 1 in each of those, affinity and sharpness. So this right here is the best roll that I could possibly get. So say if we had 4 attack and 1 sharpness, it would be 2 EX attacks and 2 attack boosts level 3. I would imagine if it's 5 attack, it would be 2 EX, 2 level 3s and a level 2, most likely. So most likely you can only have 2 of each category of each level. So just keep that in mind when you're doing your reinforcement rolls. But yeah, this right here is probably the best roll, I would say, especially if you go with the attack focus. 1 slot and affinity just to offset the negative affinity that you get from going the attack route. As I mentioned before, you can always put a lot of skills in, certain skills into boost your affinity, but losing 15% right off the cuff is a pretty big hit. So at least if 1 affinity boost will help you offset it a bit, so it's not too harming, and you still get at least 33 attack from the reinforcement bonuses, and of course prolonging your sharpness is always important so you can stay at max damage. So that's basically what you want to do for the reinforcement bonuses. Obviously it's going to go by what weapon you use, so most weapons will probably benefit from this layout. The charge blade will probably benefit more from mostly element and sharpness for the SAED follow-ups and the SAED, the AED follow-ups and the SAEDs, getting off, they benefit mostly from elemental damage. If you go with an elemental charge blade, that is. Now, if you go with an impact charge blade, this will probably be the better loadout for you. Gun lance will probably be all attack. You can benefit, well, not benefit, but you won't really care about negative affinity if you got gun lance, because all your shelling damage is based on attack. So stacking as much attack as you can will probably be more beneficial. Sharpness too. You probably don't really need to worry about sharpness too much. Wyvern stake and all that. That's just part of your rotations. But your shelling damage is the main bread and butter. And I believe bow and heavy bowguns, I believe they can benefit from this layout as well with a higher attack. Obviously they don't need sharpness, but the ammo boost obviously would benefit for bows and long bowguns and etc. So this is pretty much the layout you want to go for. Right here, this is literally the perfect roll. Like, this is my only perfect roll on my dual blades. I have close to perfect rolls. As you can see, this one, I just need affinity to flip to EX, and that'll be perfect. And for this one, I just need one attack to flip EX. Like, if you can get them close enough, that's a start. But it's gonna take a lot. It's gonna take a lot of Oracle Sight. I probably rolled at least like 4,000 Oracle Sight just to get these at this level. You probably won't need that much, but I use 4,000 just to try to get the perfect rolls. And obviously this is the only one I was able to get the perfect roll. Most of the other ones are near perfect. So yeah. Hopefully I can, roll this one and get this one a little better. Maybe even get the perfect roll that I need. That'd be great. As far as active and group skills, I recommend Lord Soul. Obviously, that's gonna net you a ton of attack. Like, attack gives you like more than attack 5. It's like having burst level 4 or resentment level 4. Adrenaline rush level 4. It's going to give you a lot of attack just fixed in. So you got to give it a little bit of defense, but it's not too taxing, especially if you have divine blessing in your set. So it's not too bad just going Lord Soul. But I want to go basically GOGMA Apocalypse Lord Soul for my setup, because these two together are amazing. Plus burst boost, all three of those go great together. A lot of damage. Unfortunately I had to give up a little bit of affinity. Well, not even a little bit, like 15% affinity I had to give up to get the skills that I wanted on here, because most of the armor pieces won't allow me to get to weakness exploit level 5. So I was benefiting tremendously from Azure Bolt. Azure Bolt was keeping me around 90% affinity, and that was a big hit, just losing that much affinity, especially since I use crit element in my build. But Thunderous Roar helps us maintain Latin power a little longer, so we get to stay at high affinity for a little bit longer with Thunderous Roar. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The GOGMA system isn't too sophisticated. Pretty much let me show you this too while I'm at it. Reinforce. So I guess we can just go for the roll here. So you got the amend option. You can keep your bonuses, which I would, because I got everything that I want, or you can reset the bonuses and get something else. So that's why I say, even if you make an Artian weapon and you do the initial reinforcement bonus and you don't get what you want, don't worry about that. because if you amend, it still only takes 20 Oracle Sight to re-roll all your bonuses and to get what you want. And what you want will probably pop up pretty fast. So don't worry too much about that. If you need to change your reinforcement bonuses. So it pretty much made, having to farm a whole bunch of Artian pieces, not so bad, because you only need what you need, and then you can re-roll your reinforcement bonuses. Unlike before, whatever you got is what you got, and then if you didn't get what you want, you had to remake a whole new weapon. So that was pretty good, pretty good quality of life change there. Even if you keep the bonuses, still same cost, 20 Oracle Sight. Pretty generous. They could have did this like they did the initial Artian, made it cost 50, but very generous as far as the re-rolls. Probably because they knew it was going to take a while to get the perfect roll that we want. So they just made it like this. So when you roll, when the reinforcement bonuses, the new reinforcement bonuses come up, they'll use the results that go down usually pop up first, and then the ones that go up follow. So basically, if you watch the reinforcement bonuses, if nothing goes down, then you can assume, okay, I got the perfect roll. But if things start going down, then some things go up. Then you basically just kind of compare both sides to see if anything got boosted. So if I got the same results, but I got attack boost 2 to go to 3, I would keep that new reinforcement. So that's basically the game. Just comparing numbers. You see everything goes down first and then everything goes up. So obviously we don't want our EXs to go down because we rolled those and we want to keep those. So we obviously going to keep everything. Still didn't get anything good yet. Like say my affinity went down 1, but I got the EX attack and attack 3. I will probably keep that because I got attack 3, and I had to lose 2% affinity, but I could try to get it back. At least in that sense, I got a little more attack and I only lost 2% affinity. So I'll look at the results. Still not beneficial to us. Let's just do 5 more. See if we get it. Still nothing. Some dirtbag results on that last one. Everything went down first and then 1 went up.
Look good.
So 3 went up and 2 went down, but they went down too much. They went down to 2. So they'll never go back down to 1, but the lowest they will go is 2. So obviously don't want 2. You want to go 3 or higher, obviously. So you lost too many EXs there.
Ready to get to work?
No. So we relatively didn't get anything good from these rolls. If we farm enough GOG, we can use the GOGMA pieces to get our rolls in order to, how many pieces? 30 pieces. Yeah, we can use the GOG pieces because while you're farming GOG to get TAR devices to re-roll your active skills, you'll start loading up on parts so you can use those for the reinforcement game, the gambling game, and just try your luck. Get as close as perfect results as you can, so you will have the best build possible. But yeah, that's pretty much the GOGMA Artian system. It's not too complicated. It's a lot of gambling, yes, a lot of RNG. So yeah, gotta put your lucky cap on and hit the slot machine, almost kind of like a casino a little bit. But yeah, it's pretty generous. You can trade Oracle Site at the Foundry and the Oil Well Basin for Oracle Site. And obviously your target devices you got to get from GOG. There's just no other way. But GOG is a pretty chill, easy hunt. It's not too taxing, and you can pretty much get it done 15, 20, 25 minutes. You know, it's not too taxing. You know, it's a couple hours of farming, get a bunch of target devices, and then, you know, try to get your load out the way you want it. You can see what I got here. I got Ebony Odo's Burst Boost, Ray Dial's Voltage, and GOGMA Apocalypse. And I have Lord Soul as my active group skill. That's basically what I wanted to go for. Gives me the best damaging output for right now. And hopefully when Arch-Tempered... What's that guy's name? Jindahad. Arch-Tempered Jindahad. Hopefully Arch-Tempered Jindahad has some pieces I can use to get that extra affinity back. That would be incredible. That would be very incredible. Because once I get that, you know, I'm just gonna be ripping through everything. So I'm excited for what Arch-Tempered Jindahad has. Pretty much most of the Arch-Tempered pieces were pretty decent. Unfortunately, no armor I can transcend to get me full weakness exploit right now, but you know, I'm going to keep brainstorming to see what I can put together to complete this set, and I can put together a build video, which that's going to be fun. I guess I can put it together now, but it's just like missing that affinity. It's kind of killing me right now. But that build video will be coming, so stay tuned for that. Hope you found the video useful. Hope you understand the GOGMA Artian system a little better. It's not too complicated. It's very generous to a extent. You know, the RNG is what it is, but the materials needed to re-roll your reinforcements isn't too taxing. The only taxing thing is, you know, getting your group skills together, which ones you want, that pretty much cater around your set. So yeah, that's pretty much what you got to do from here on out. Just try to get the best DPS build that you can for your particular weapon, and just have fun ripping everything apart from right now. Right now we have the ability to just annihilate everything. So yeah, it's time to be kings again, I guess you could say. But I'm going to end the video here. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments, which GOGMA Artian roles are you going for? What did you get? Did you find it useful? Did you find the GOGMA Artian system complicated and this video helped you out a little bit more? Let me know in the comments. That's it from me. I'd like to thank you for watching. As always, do the proper thing. Like, share, subscribe, tune into future videos, and I will see you then. Peace.